My name is Dainhen Butler, anger management specialist over the earth. Our third question for today is it comes from one of my kids. I'm a case manager for at-risk teens out in Clayton County. I deal with 14 to 24-year-olds. The goal is to, assist them with getting their records expunged by way of placement, and that's job placement, education placement. So we link them up with Job Corps, Youth Challenge, the military, immediate employment, forklifting class, whatever we can do to link them up with something that's going to, decrease their probability of returning back to jail. That's the ultimate goal. One of the questions that I got from one of my kids is, and reoccurring situations that we have, is that some of my kids feel like they're being tried to one degree or another. I have a lot of them that have some type of gang affiliation. But I spoke to one of the little brothers, and he was just like, I'm angry because I feel like people are trying me, like they're disrespecting me. And when I feel disrespected, I'm going to retaliate. And my way of retaliation could, it can be life altering to one degree or another. And I think that this is true to one degree or another throughout the country, throughout the world. When you talk about men and you talk about how they feel about their respect and how they need to respond in reference to being disrespected, that's a common trait or a common act for individuals to act out to demand respect. I also had a situation at a job. Same situation occurred. One individual felt like the other individual disrespected them by way of eye contact, and we had a potential situation. So my question, the question is, how do you stop a individual from trying you, or how do you, make it through that situation with no bullet holes and without handcuffs? And the answer is very simple. What you have to do in life, you have to figure out what your goal is. What is it that you want to do? If you're on a job site or if you're in a classroom, define what it is that you want to do. Do you want to graduate? Do you want to make money? Okay, and if you have a potential misunderstanding with an individual, what kind of effect does that have on your ultimate goal? If you feel like you've been disrespected and you feel like that disrespect has to be addressed immediately, what are the potential outcomes? Because what I found to be true is that when one individual is disrespected and they disrespect somebody else, it does not end there. What you've done is you've caused the situation to escalate to a potential harmful situation to one degree or another, because now you've disrespected, and now you're going to be disrespected back potentially, which is going to, is going to lead to from eye contact to loud conversations to screaming to potential physical contact. And what I found is that you do not resolve a disrespectful situation with disrespect. The only way you can resolve a potential disrespectful situation is through communication. Unfortunately, a lot of, males are not big on words when it comes to, trying to talk and to resolve a situation. Some of us believe that, it has to be some type of physical exchange. If you are not fluid, if you are not a MMA fighter, if physical contact does not contribute to your ultimate goal, then why are you interacting in it? Stop being so emotional. That is my message to my brothers. Stop being so emotional. If somebody step on your shoes and you feel like they looked at you for a longer period of time, what you need to do is you need to unembrace your emotions and step away from the feminine side, brother. You got to be a man when it comes down to it. When it boils down to it, a lot of us have feminine-like characteristics that we obtain from our mama, our aunties, or just through our genetics, and we've embraced them too aggressively. You are too in tune to your feminine side, brother. Stop touching your nipples, and I mean it in a serious aspect. No disrespect to anybody that is discovering themselves in a different gender. But what I'm saying is to those individuals who find themselves in situations where the outcome is not contributing to your ultimate goal, what you have to do is back away from your emotions, man. Don't get so mad over something that is so petty. If you are serious about accomplishing your goal, if you come to your job to get money and somebody look at you and you don't like how they look at you, ask yourself, how does this have an effect on my cash flow? Is there going to be an increase if I address this situation? Is there a potential decrease? if I address this situation. If that situation is not life altering, if your life is not in immediate danger, then what you got to do is you got to use the best judgment possible in that situation. A lot of times, you know what I found in potential situations is this. When I say potential situations, potential harmful situations. I was walking through the mall with my daughter, with my she's my oldest daughter, but at that particular time, she had to been about like 10, 12 years old. We was walking through the mall. I had a pink polo shirt on. And I had a guy to whisper psst, psst, in my mind, because of where I'm from and how I was trained, you know, I've been disrespected. And because of that disrespect, there's only one logical outcome. I must address the situation so we can resolve it. I don't know who this individual was. He didn't come into my personal space, and I did not see this individual. First of all, what we have to take into consideration is this, that I am an African-American male in these United States. It don't take nothing for me to end up in jail. Nothing. And if I interact physically with another African-American male, guess what? We both going to jail. So what I have to take into consideration is this, that if I address this, first of all, baby girl about to see daddy act a plum fool. Something that I do not want to happen, because I want to leave the impression with her that any situation is resolvable through communication and effective thinking. So what I have to do at that particular time is all the stuff that I talk about in reference to anger management and cognitive restructuring is I have to actually put it to work. So I start asking myself, what's the worst possible outcome? The worst possible outcome is that I could do something to this individual, that individual could do something to me, I could be dead, I can leave my children here without a father, I can leave my community, I could, you know, lose all this stuff. Now, has this person come into my personal space? Has this person came at me and seriously threatened me? No. What they did was disrespectful, but I can handle that disrespect, because guess what we're doing? We're leaving the mall. We're getting away from this situation because I got potential, baby. Ain't no telling what kind of effect I can have on the world. But if I resolve, if I'm in a situation where I put everything that I work for, everything that I strive for, stressed and preach to my kids and to everybody in my community, and I let it loose and I lose it because some individual don't understand the potential harm they just put themselves into, I'm just as guilty as that individual. What I got to do is back away from my emotions and think logically about what my ultimate goal is. My goal is to get my daughter this pair of shoes that she wants. And guess what? They don't have them at this mall, and it's crazy stuff going on here. So what we need to do is we need to relocate to another mall. Now, never in any situation where I be put in a predicament where you can disrespect me to the point where I feel like my life is being endangered. No, that's a natural instinct. But we have so many situations where we could actually stay out of the morgue, stay out of jail, stay off the radar of, you know, those individuals who get paid for our imprisonment. But sometimes, and majority of the times, we do not, because we embrace our emotions and we feel like we've been tried and we go for it. We want to not be disrespected by disrespecting other people. And it's simply not that logical. And what takes place is if we fight and you win or I win, and you see me somewhere else, or I see you somewhere else, and now we fight again. Now the next time somebody gets shot, now your people retaliate or my people retaliate. What we've done is we've created a cycle. We've created a cycle. You have to be conscious of some of that, the effect that propaganda and social media and mass media has on you, because every time they get a chance, they give you a picture of a bad guy. That bad guy is 9 times out of 10, he's a black guy. He's stealing something, he's raping something, he's looting, he's doing all this stuff. Be conscious of that, because what we begin to do is we begin to hate ourselves because of the reinforcement that is constantly coming our way. We are not a people to be hated. We're a joyful people, man. But if they keep pushing this picture on you and you start feeling like this the way it has to be, and just think about 99% of hip hop music right now. If you don't kill a black person, sell dope to them, or, you know, put money in their G-string, man, you're not a rapper. You got to kill black people in order to be a rapper. So this is what we're constantly being exposed to. So when that element, you take it into consideration, reevaluate your emotions, back away from the nonsense, and make sure that your goal is in place and that your goal is not being altered by any nonsense. My name is Dainhen Butler. Subscribe to the Dainhen Butler Show. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tune in to the Dainhen Butler Show on Sundays on Instinct Radio. Continue to put goodness into the world. Please keep the questions coming in. Maximize your time. Through every negative situation, there's a positive in there somewhere. That's the only way I can make it through life. I don't care what's going on, what time of day it is, or what the weather is like. It's something good that's going to come out. I demand goodness to one element or another. And once your mindset is there, then you'll begin to find... So, you have the potential to control the world. The only difference between an individual who is able to control the world and who's not is the belief that you have the ability to do so. It's just that simple. My name is Dainhen Butler, man. We'll see you guys next time. Keep the questions coming in.